Tady teďka ne, ty půjdeš do pitstopu a budeš dělat v pitstopu, protože to je to samé, jako bylo tohle. Oni projíždějí, jakoby jezdí rychlý kolo. Jo. Tam budeš v pitstopu s Jevou a ona bude dělat jako pitstop je tamhle vzadu, ten zadní stán a ten dešník.
Jo, jasně, tak tam.
Tam můžete s Jevou, ona bude dělat normálně jako rozhovory, si vybere 3.
Pak jsme na drátu, takže se bude muset Jeva trošku, že jsme na káblíku, takže se bude Jeva muset trošku krotit a hlídat. Tam možná pojďme spolu.
Vždycky bude muset jako přitáhnout.
Si říkám, že půjdu s tebou, vole, abych tě to rádio prostě ne.
Na závod jdu normálně tady potom do zatáčení. Hned teď tyhle dva závody.
Kolik jedou? Jedu 50, ne, ale kolik jedou čas?
Tam nechci být s tou Jevou, znám, ona je jak splašená koza, víš, občas.
Vzhledem k tomu, že jdou magnetické vole s ní borec sám. A ty jsi kameraman. Ty jsi kameraman, vole, takže ty to můžu.
Tak si udám na vodítko. Musí jenom udržet mikrofon v zubě.
Já, víš co? Příště na takovýhle půdy mám žílu, vole. To je ten
Já myslím, že tyhle by prospěli spíš ostrovy, víš?
Ona tak díla taky není vedvěci, vole.
Tak volda teďka. A
Víš, co to je, vole? To je ten bič, vole, co máš asi takhle ručku a pak 3 metry, vole. A to umí dávat, vole. Tím, když tě, vole, člověk správně trefí,
že bychom paní Evu vycvičili,
tak máš rozseknutý záda, ty.
To jsou ty slavné krvavé záda.
Já myslel, že jsi to udělal.
Pochopil jsem právě, že Tarantino se toho znal.
Zase na druhou stranu já za těma korekcema moc nechci sedět. No. Ať mi vidí úplně. Pokud tady je někde, vole, kdy tam může se...
To bunkuje líp, že?
No a ať si tam se dívá, vole, to je si pěkně vyšpítají.
Jak už se tam někdy sedlo?
Nezajímalo, víš? Ne? Dobrý hokej, vole, pokud nemáš, vole, prosperou střechu.
Ale čumě zpět na to, vole.
Ale třeba fotbaly, vole, Slávie, vole, nebo něco, kde máš na půlce ještě tmu, nebo stín, a na druhý Oňo, drž hubu a říct. Jsem ti dneska říkal, jak ti to sluší? Mařeno. Mě to neplatí.
Vynecháváš to pivo?
Ne, já...
Vynecháváš pivo?
Když se mi nelíbí, tak se mi nelíbí. A je úplně jedno. No narostla se. Když se vážíš. Ale mě narostla. No počkej, vole. Nahol ti to zlo.
volání přírody. Už zase vás hecuje, ať šlápnete do pedálů. Projet stezky, které navrhovala sama příroda. I tohle je Česko. Česko na kole. Místa, na kterých se tají dech, živly na dosah, překonání vlastních limitů i pocit, že tohle nám už nikdo nevezme.
Tady to mám rád. Tady cítím, že skutečně žiju.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Luken certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for round 1 of the World Sidecarcross Championship, coming up to you live from here in the Czech Republic in Jinin. So it has been a long year and a half, almost 2 years since we left you from round 14 of 2019 back in Germany of Rudelsburg. That seems such a long time ago now, but we're back. We hope you missed us as much as we missed you, because the lack of racing has been driving us all wild. But through sheer determination, we've managed to put together a 4-round calendar for this season, starting here in Jinin, in south of Czech Republic, about 100 kilometers south of the capital of Prague. And this track, just look at it, it is absolutely perfect. This is how they will line up for the Group A of the qualifying, with number 82 Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset first, ahead of Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. Jake Brown, Joe Millard there on outfit number 8. Keep an eye on them. They had a fantastic end to 2019. Did the British pairing. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Bogart on outfit number 11. Justin Kuban, Nicky de Bruyne, Marco Heinze and Rudy Betschart. The Swiss pairing number 18. Adrian Peter, Miroslav Zatlukau there as well on outfit 24. Jan and Pavel Bukau on 26. Romaric Chanteloup, Simon Villains on 40. Sven Visselink and Luc Rostang on 53. Swiss pairing again, number 4, Fabian Hoffmann and Marius Strauss. Radek Polichny and Thomas Roshon on 69. Martin Zizlawski, Jan Hanelik on 88. 214 is Glenn van der Stralen and Jens Mans. And 61, rounding out the field there, Ladislav Peck and Vyacheslav Peck. So here we are. The crowd is here in attendance. So this time last year we wouldn't have thought it, but here we are. Just looking at all the Group A outfits here on the screens with Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Etienne Bax, of course, 2019 champion with a different passenger, but 2017 World Championship pairing of Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset back together to contend this 4-round championship. There is number 11 of Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, the Dutch pairing. That was a bit of a surprise move when that came about. But I'll tell you what, they're showing some real promising form indeed. In the earlier practice session, it was Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart who were second, about 3 seconds or so behind Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Kern Hermans, Glenn Janssens, number 3, third place, just behind them as well by less than half a second. That is how close it is for round 1 here in the practice sessions. But what have we got in store for the qualifying sessions? Only time will tell. I'll tell you what, we did the track walk, and this track is absolutely fantastic. There's so many elevation changes, camber as well. We've got a few bank corners. There you can see the number 40 outfit of Romaric Chanteloup and Simon Villain just conversing and getting their final checks all sorted. But the sun's beating down here in Jinin, Czech Republic. It's about 21, 22 degrees at the moment. And I'll tell you what, looking out the window here, there is not a cloud in sight. It's supposed to be a fantastic day of qualifying and racing. So my name is Bradley Hicks. You may not be familiar with myself, but I commentated back at the end of 2019 for round 12 in Belgium alongside Barry Nutley, and then round 14 for Rudelsburg for the championship finale with Steve Randall. But this time it is just myself. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show that we've got for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. The atmosphere is absolutely incredible, to say the least. There is the 14 outfit, Justin Kuban and Nicky De Bruyne, the Dutch and Belgian pairing. They were 6th in the earlier practice session, a lap time of 2 minute 12.224. Just to put that into context for you, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, who topped that session, did a 2 minute 7.329. Across the whole field, 15 riders, of course, in the Group A free practice session, separated by 16 seconds. So it's all to play for over the coming qualifying session, which should get underway in just a moment's time. Final preparations then coming into play for all of the outfits. But right there, we're looking at the 24 of Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukau. So Miroslav, the local man, who is passengering Adrian Peter once again. There they are then, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, number 82 on their outfit, the Dutch and French pairing who had so much success in the past, both together and with other passengers and drivers, respectively. But thumbs up from Etienne. He is ready and raring to go, and that is proven in the earlier practice session, which he topped. So Etienne Bax, a multi-time world champion now, and Nicolas Mousset, champion in 2017, alongside Dutch Etienne Bax. But these lap times are surely going to tumble throughout the session as it goes on. So for the sidecars, we're going to have Yeva Kuzma down in the pits, and I think for the quads we're going to have Milena Krafthofer for that one as well. So not long to go now until we get some action out on circuit. Just look at that picture. How have we missed this? It's been 705 days since the finale of 2019 at Rudersberg in Germany. But enough about that and more about the 2021 season, which is getting underway this weekend here in Yinin. So there they go then. For the first time this year, the machines go out on circuit for the first qualifying session of the weekend for the Group A machines. So here we go. Half an hour this session will be. Putting themselves out in front to try and give themselves some clear track is the British pairing of number 8, Jake Brown and Joe Millard. They are certainly one to watch this weekend. Of course, Jake Brown and Joe Millard both come from sidecar cross racing families. Jake Brown's father, Stuart, isn't here this weekend, but he finished 4th in last year's championship. Of course, their father, Norman, is mechanic as well. So Jake Brown, son of the most successful British sidecar cross pairing in the history of that particular championship, just making his way around the circuit, a bit of a sighting lap to familiarise themselves with the conditions, with the track, with the elevations, with the jumps, you name it, that is what they have to do. Around the far part of the circuit, just keeping our eyes on Jake Brown and Joe Millard out in front of the field, trying to give themselves some space the next half hour, get themselves a good lap time. They were 7th in the earlier practice session with a 2 minute 13.487. That was on their 10th lap, so it goes to show that with the laps coming through and the familiarisation between themselves and the circuit, their lap times are tumbling, and they're looking to put themselves in good stead for today's and tomorrow's action. This has got to be one of those picturesque circuits on the calendar here in Yinin. We've not been here before, so feast your eyes on what we've got here for you. Just a quick sighting lap for the British pairing on outfit number 8. And the rest of the field just making their way around the circuit as well. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, keep your eyes on Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. Ben van den Bogart doesn't have all those world titles for nothing. And Gert van Verven, the Viking himself, on number 11. What can he do with Ben as passenger? There they are, just in the background there, and here we go for Jake Brown and Joe Millard. Over the top of the jump, before going into a right-hander, before a steep descent down into yet another right-hander. I tell you, the picture does not do that justice at all. Just looking out of the right-hand side window of the commentary box here is so steep, let me tell you. Lots of camber as well. Joe Millard hanging off the left-hand side of that machine. Of course, the British pairing have the left-hand side sidecars, whereas the Dutch, French, Belgian, Czech, German will have it on the right-hand side. So will that give them an advantage? Will it give them a disadvantage? Who knows, but we will find out. Just puts into perspective how hard these guys have to work. Jake Brown fighting at the handlebars. Joe Millard all over the rear end of that machine. Look at that, putting his foot right in front of the wheel as he come over that big, big jump there for leaning off the left-hand side of the outfit. Big handful of throttle from Jake Brown as he powers his way down into this tight right-hander, which is a very, very difficult part of the circuit as well. You've got to contend with the jump before getting into the right-hand side of the circuit. Then not only that, you've got the tabletop as well that would lead into a very, very cambered right-hander, which you can use all your corner speed around the outside and over the top of that jump. That will put you in good stead and into a good line for this part of the circuit. Over the tabletop, down to the dip, and back over another one for Jake Brown and Joe Millard. But you would not believe how hard Joe Millard will have to work to try and keep that machine in the right place on circuit. It's driver and passenger working in harmony as they come around the last part of the circuit in just a moment's time. You can see them in the distance there through the trees. Very forestry area is Yinin, and that goes to show in the pictures that we are seeing. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Bogart, there they are, outfit number 11. Like I said before, this was a very, very surprising bit of news when they announced that they would be working together this year. I don't really think anybody saw it coming, but I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, they're not doing too badly. A 2-minute 10.353 in the earlier practice session put them in second place. So their first ride together this year, in fact, and they're already challenging the top positions. That just goes to show how hard they've been riding and how well they work together here around this Yinin circuit. You would not believe how high those jumps are in person. It's a bit of a tricky with the camera. It always makes it look a little bit flatter than what it actually is. But there's Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. World champion of 2019 is Etienne Bax, and that is why they have the red plate behind the number 82, which you can see not only on the front but also on the side of the machine. So a WSP frame and a Zabel engine once again for Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. So Nicolas Mousset, who of course was with Kern Hermans in 2019, made the switch back to Etienne Bax, the man who he won the 2017 World Championship with, which is some 4 years ago now. How time flies. Almost flies as much as what Etienne Bax does over these jumps. He's absolutely on it already in the early stages of this qualifying session. Just heading into that right hander. It's very, very tricky. Oh, look at that. Just touching the outside hard-packed bit of terrain before coming into this 180-degree right-hander, which will lead him over this big, big step-up jump. Nicolas Mousset holding on to Etienne Bax around that left-hander, putting all the weight onto the driven wheel before coming down the far part of the circuit for the number 82. So as I say, a 2-minute 7.329 in the earlier session, 3 seconds ahead of Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. Kern Hermans, Glenn Jansen's third on outfit number 3. They will be one to watch as well. Kern Hermans is very young still, bear in mind, and he still needs to get the experience in the world stage to really, really give himself the advantage over the others, but he's still one to watch. You can bet your bottom dollar. Number 26, Jan Bukal and Pavel Bukal were fourth in the earlier practice session, ahead of Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal. That was the top 5, but we're just watching Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. They've had a bit of a quick lap and have decided just to cruise around the early part of this circuit. But that's the part of the circuit that I was telling you about earlier. Look at that drop. Look how steep it is before into the right-hander you go. It looks scary enough when they're by themselves, but when you're going to have 29 outfits all fighting for position in the early stages of the race, that will be hair-raising to say the least. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Bogart from outfit number 11, just about to overtake the 26 of Jan and Pavel Bukal, who did so well in the earlier practice session. A 2-minute 11.036 for that particular outfit. And of course, both the Czechs local to here say this is their home round for Jan and Pavel. But coming over that big jump into the very fast right-hander. Just look at the way that Ben van den Bogart hangs off that machine. So much strength, so much core strength on these passengers. It is unbelievable. Over the far part of the circuit now, build up some speed over these jumps, over the first one and over the second. There is the final one for you. Flick it into this left-hander, 180 degrees before you drop down and before you prepare yourself for that jump, which is on a right-hander as well. It's a very technical circuit, this very challenging circuit, but these are world-class riders and world-class passengers. So there you can see the starting gate. That is where the 29 outfits will line up before they make the way up this sharp, sharp ascent into the left-hander. That is going to be absolutely fantastic to watch when the races get underway. But we're still in the qualifying sessions, of course. There is the other local pairing of Martin Zislavsky and Jan Hanelik, pairing on the 88 outfit. They were 13th in the earlier practice session out of the 15 riders, 2 minutes 17.192. They've also got the WSP frame, which seems to be very popular indeed, but they have the Mega engine, so a whole host of 2-stroke and 4-stroke machinery in these outfits. As we change back to Sven Visselink, Luke Rostang, outfit number 53. They're just going to come under pressure from Martin Zislavsky and Jan Hanelik. And it looks like they're just going to cruise around for this one as well. Martin just taking a look over his left shoulder. So there we go, a bit of communication between rider and passenger. As we watch them come around the far part of the circuit. It looks like they're going to be coming into the pits as well, with Sven Visselink and Luke Rostang, outfit number 53, in there as well. So we're already about halfway through this qualifying session. As they head into the pits, they're going to communicate with their team, see what is going on with the circuit, see where they are at the moment. And it sounds as though Jaever is going to be down there with one of the riders. Who have you got for us?
Feeling today, this is partly a home track for your team.
Yeah, the feeling is very good. A bit stressful. We are going for the first row because the start is important here. So my passenger is a bit nervous because it's home GP. Yeah, we're doing our best. We are very excited to be back on the track in the GPs, and yeah, we will see.
How do you like this format of doing the races in a free practice style, not the racing behind the gate?
Yeah, I didn't like it because for me it's hard for me to doing just one fast lap. My fitness conditions are very good, so we're always going for races because over the time we can push a lot and not just for one round. So I prefer the old timetable.
All right, thank you. Good luck with the races, and back to you, Bradley.
Thank you very much, Javier. So Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatluk are feeling confident coming into this weekend as we turn our attention back to Etienne Bacht and Nicolas Moussain. It looks as though they're on a hot one here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them over that jump. Dirt being chucked up the rear wheel from the driven wheel as they come over that jump. Look at that. Pure style. Give it a handful of revs as they come around the first part of the circuit. There's the gate you can see in the background as Etienne Bacht and Nicolas Moussain make their way up the ascent into the first part of the circuit. Very, very difficult to get right, that part is, because not only is it a very sharp ascent, it's also blind, of course, so you have to trust where the track goes and just hold your breath. They had a fantastic season in 2019, did Etienne Bacht, and Nicolas Moussain as well, who was with his former driver, Kern Hermans. Had a few issues, I seem to remember, in the final couple of races with the machinery. One that sticks out was in Rudersburg when the sidecar wheel came loose somehow. So That didn't bode well for that particular pairing, but that is time's gone by. That is over 700 days ago, nearly 2 years since we've seen some World Sidecarcross action. Of course, we had the Nations as well. But here we are, back for GP1 in Yinin, about 100 kilometers south of the capital, which is Prague. As Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, it looks like they're just cruising around this one, trying to find the right line, get in the groove, as they're about to encounter one of the slower outfits on an outlap here. You can just see how big these jumps are here in Yinin. Look how far down they have to go before they power it up over the jumps. And back into view for Bax and Mousset. 16 minutes left in this session as Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset come into the pits and see their team as we turn our attention to Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, the Dutch and the Belgian pairing on outfit number 3. They were third in the earlier practice session with a 2-minute 10.813. It was so close in the practice session, but Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset were by far and away the fastest of the bunch with a 3-second advantage over the chasing pack. But just look at that picture. You got the trees, the sun is beating down here in the Czech Republic. It's such a fantastic event. The atmosphere is absolutely electric this weekend, let me tell you. As we start yet another lap for the number 53. Sven Visserlik and Luc Rostang now out of the pits. Maybe they made a few changes to the machine, maybe just a communication between Sven and Luc, but either way, it looks like they're going to go for a fast one here. Over the jump and down that sharp descent into the first part of the circuit. Fourth place in the earlier practice session for the outfit that we're looking at here. Number 26, Jan Buchal and Pavel Buchal. As I say earlier, a 2-minute 11.036. So as we look at Jan and Pavel, it sounds as though Jeva has got yet another rider down there in the pits. Who you got for us this time?
Champion of World Sidecarcross Championship. Etienne, how are you feeling this morning? How is the track looking?
Yeah, the track is looking great. You know, it's in the morning they make it wet, of course, and now it's drying out. So yeah, it's perfect circumstances now to race, and the sun is out, so the riding is going well. We feel good on the bike. Although we both, Nicolas and me, we sleep very bad this night, but we feel good on the bike, and hopefully we can do something good in the race.
At the moment, you have the best result. Are you confident it's going to stay that way?
Yeah, of course. You know, this is the first time of since 1.5 years that we can do a real test how we are in the championship, of how we will be. And of course, this time, this good time will motivate us and will give us some more confidence. So yeah, we'll go out one more time and try to do our best, and hopefully we can take our confidence in the race.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Bradley.
Etienne Bax, who's very confident coming into this weekend. A bad night's sleep will not hamper his pace, it would seem. Top in the practice session and going so well in this qualifying session as well. But just look at how high that jump is there. That is absolutely fantastic stuff as we get a face full of dirt from the driven wheel of that particular outfit as Jake Brown and Joe Millard come into view. Look at that, thumbs up from Pavel Buchal on the passenger chair there, alongside Jan Buchal. Local pairing, feeling good coming into this weekend. Fourth place in the earlier practice session, as mentioned before. They're looking absolutely fantastic coming around the far part of the circuit now, dropping down and then back over this next jump as well. It'll be interesting to see what they can do as they come into the races this weekend, because they're certainly looking strong in the practice and qualifying sessions that we've had so far. There we go, then coming over the jump and across the finishing gate. 12 minutes left in this session as we look at Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukau go through the picture. And it didn't sound as though he was a bit of a fan of the new format, but he will have to adapt to it and do the best that he can. Glenn van der Stralen and Jens Mans on 2-1-4 we look at now. He was 9th in the earlier practice session. The Belgian pairing with a 2:14.981. That was just ahead of Sven Visselink and Luc Rostang, who rounded out the top 10 in the earlier session. But Glenn van der Stralen and Jens Mans coming over that big jump before heading into the left-hander. Jens Mans, very experienced passenger, of course. Glenn van der Stralen as well. Very, very difficult right-hander that corner is before going over the big tabletop, before heading into the very cambered 180-degree right-hander. Just look how hard they have to work to get their machine around this Yinin circuit. The MX Enduro Park hosting the first round of the World Sidecarcross Championship this weekend. And as I said before, it is absolutely amazing to be back. It feels like coming home. But they're coming into the final part of the circuit now, is Van der Stralen and Mans. They've got the WSP frame with a KTM engine. So as I said earlier, a whole mix of two-stroke and four-stroke machinery. And some parts of the circuit may favour the two-stroke or the four-stroke. We'll have to see how that plays out. But it looks as though Jens Mans is just giving some information to Glenn van der Stralen, because, of course, this is a team sport. This kind of thing that you have to do to get the best out of the machinery and, of course, make the track conditions work to your favour. Etienne Bax, as we heard just a moment ago, saying the conditions are pretty much perfect for racing today. Track just drying out after having a bit of a soak in earlier from the sprinklers. But we'll look at the 18 machine of Marco Heinze and Meinrad Schelber. The Swiss pairing, they've got the VMC frame and the KTM engine, so similar to Van der Stralen and Jens Mans, just a different frame for the number 18 outfit. Looks like they're slowly making their way up towards the top part of the circuit as Jake Brown and Joe Millard go through the British pairing. So they're a bit of a fan favourite, is Jake Brown and Joe Millard. Of course, son of Stuart Brown is Jake Brown. Stuart, of course, not here this weekend, unfortunately. Finished 4th in last year's 2019 World Championship, sorry. Can't believe it's been 2 years ago since we last had some World Sidecarcross action to feast our eyes on. But it's so, so good to be back. I think it's safe to say there's a lot of support for the Czech outfits this weekend. Jan and Pavel Bukau, of course, both Czech rider and passenger. Miroslav Zatlukau, who felt a bit nervous coming into this weekend, having his first Czech race of the year in the World Championships. Still watch Jake Brown and Joe Millard. Looks like they're on a fast one as well. Joe Millard, of course, heavily experienced as well. Used to be passenger with Paul Millard way back when. Dan Millard, sorry. Mark and Paul Millard, of course, used to race decades ago, it would be now. And we watch Jake Brown and Joe Millard go through. It sounds like Jeva may have someone else to talk to there. Who you got for us, Jeva?
So I'm here with Justin. Justin, third best result in the group at the moment. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, the track suits me pretty good. I like jumping, like a hard-packed track, so the track is good for me, so yeah, I like it.
And what about this racing format? No standard of group racing together, but individual times. Are you enjoying this better?
Don't know yet, we haven't raced yet, but I like racing, so for sure.
All right, good luck for today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bradley.
He's certainly feeling happy down there, which is always good to see. Coming back strong into the first round of the World Championship. I just can't believe how steep that drop is. So watching them do it alone is scary in itself, but when there's going to be 29, 30 outfits potentially dropping down there on the opening lap, it is going to be a spectacle indeed. As we watch number 69 outfit, Radek Palushny and Thomas Rojon, the Czech pairing. They were the 15th and final runners in the early practice session, but it doesn't look as though they got that many laps in, so they'll be looking to go some better as we turn our attention back to Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart on outfit number 11. Ben van den Bogart just absolutely throwing himself to the left-hand side of the machine before flicking his way to the right-hand. It's absolutely incredible how hard the passengers have to work, especially around a circuit as technically challenging as this, as well as physically challenging, of course. Lots of elevation changes, lots of banking, and also lots of speed. It really is a fantastic venue to kick off the first round of the World Championship here in Yinin. Looks as though they were happy with that lap. They're just taking a steady cruise around the final part, early part of this circuit. But Gert van Verven, he's had a few podiums in the past, but Ben van den Bogart, of course, multi-time world champion for a few different riders. He's got the experience and passion that it takes to win a world championship. Not just one, but a whole load of them. So the Dutch pairing having a good weekend so far. It's returned back to Sven Visseling and Luc Rostang on outfit number 53. Sven Visseling, the Dutchman, Luc Rostang, the Frenchman, running the WSP Zabel. So a bit of a common pairing is that. They just make their way past Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens on number 3. It's an amazing sight indeed. Luc Rostang just having a quick word with Sven Visseling, just pointing out maybe a few changes that he could do. But they come into the pits now with 5 minutes remaining in the qualifying session for the Group A outfits. Martin Cieślawski, Jan Hanelik, the Czech pairing, 88. We watch. Over the far part of the circuit, once again, lots of support for the home teams, and that will surely boost the confidence of Martin and Jan as they look to go well this weekend. 13th in the earlier practice session, looking quite strong in the qualifying session here as well. It will be amazing to see where they end up in the qualifying order, but of course we also have the Group Bs to come out and play later today as well. They've got the Mega engine, so a 4-stroke for Martin and Jan, coming around the furthest point on the circuit before making their way back towards the finish part. Looks like Romaric Chanteloup and Simon Vianes coming out of the pits on number 40. And they were 11th in the earlier practice session. A 2-minute 15.653 was their best time in the session, ahead of Fabian Hoffmann and Marius Strauss, the Swiss pairing. But with 4 minutes 20 to go, there's not a whole lot of time left in hand for them to put in a good lap time, so if they want to do it, they will need to do it now. So wherever you look, there is action all over the circuit, and the crowd are loving it. Through the streets they go. A few riders just coming into play. There's Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart on number 11, as I say, second in the earlier practice session, looking really, really strong coming into this weekend. What can they do in their first races together? There's the 14 of Justin Corbin and Nicky de Bruyn. So we heard from Justin just a moment ago when he was talking to Jeva. He's feeling good. All thumbs up all around. Back out onto the circuit for Justin and Nicky. Just puts into perspective how fast and high that jump is when you come out of the pits, and then the fast guys just come storming past on hot laps. There's Jake Brown and Joe Millard just going out a shot on the left-hand side there. 18, Marco Heinze and Meinrad Schelber just coming into view around that right-hander. Looking back to Justin Corbin and Nicky de Bruyn, the Dutch and the Belgian pairing on their VMC Zabel, a 2-minute 12.224 was their lap time in the earlier practice session, which put them in 6th place, which is a good start to the weekend for Justin and Nicky. But as is the way with these vastly competitive and determined riders and passengers, they will be looking to go better as the weekend goes on. See the dust being starting to kick up now. So that'll maybe hamper the chances of some of the following riders, but it's looking for some clear space, it would seem, before coming over the jump and going for a fast lap for Justin and Nicky. That's Fabian Hoffmann and Marius Strauss on number 4, just coming into view as well as we watch Justin Kuban and Nicky de Bruyne now on a hot lap. Look how much speed they're carrying sideways into the left-hander, with Nicky de Bruyne hanging off the left-hand side of the outfit. Over the jump before going into the right-hand steep descent. That will lead them around in front of the spectators that we've got here. It is really, really fantastic to see spectators back at a World Championship event. It's been so, so long. It really does feel like coming home when we come back here and watch these World Championship guys in action. Looks as though they're going to just cruise around this lap with 1 minute and 22 seconds left. So will they get another chance to better their current time? We will have to wait and see. That was Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal just coming into picture as well. Miroslav Zatlukal, the local man, on outfit number 24. So we'll look at the 214 of Van der Stralen and Jens Mans. Just into Nicky, just rounding the left-hander before dropping down to that very difficult right-hander. That will lead them over the tabletop, back into the right-hander before that sharp, cambered right-hand 180-degree corner. Jake Brown and Joe Millard through the picture, as is Justin and Nicky. Next up, we've got a very fast outfit of 24, Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal. Looks as though they're on a hot lap as well. Just half a minute remaining in this qualifying session here in Yinin. We'll have to see who sits where when they end the session in just a moment. That was Nicky de Bruyne just waving through Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal because they know that they're on a fast lap. Look at Miroslav Zatlukal all over the rear end of that outfit like a leech. Into the woodlands part of the circuit. It really is such a picturesque event, this one. There we go. Checkered flag time then. Miroslav Zatlukal, the local rider, Adrian Peter, take the checkered flag there, and into the pits they go. So that will be the end of the Group A qualifying sessions for our World Sidecarcross teams. So in just a moment's time, we'll have the times and positions for you. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy that view. How good is it to be back? Thumbs up from Marius Strauss, Fabian Hoffmann there as well, the Swiss pairing. Coming back, I think they may have missed 2019, but I do know that Fabian Hoffmann scored 4 points at the second round in the second race of 2018. That was in Latvia. But here we are then, to conclude the Group A qualifying sessions for the sidecars. Romaric Chanteloup, Simon Viane's just come into the pits as well. There is the Czech pairing of Martin Jizlavsky, Jan Hanelik in the pits. The real works of art, these machines. So you have an insight into what it's like in the pits. It's a very tense area to be when the qualifying sessions are underway. So of course, everybody wants their men to be on top as they battle it out on circuit here at the Enduro Park in Yinin. 69, Radek Polushny and Thomas Rojon, on the WSP Husqvarna. So here we have our third place in the qualifying. That is Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, second in the practice session, third in the qualifiers. Second place, that is Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. So they're going strong already. They're a new pairing for this year as well, because of course Kern Hermans was with Nicolas Mousset, but he's changed to Glenn Janssens, and they're going strong in second. Who else but Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset? First in the qualification here for the Group A sidecars, outfit number 82, the red plate holders. What more is there to say? World Championship pairing of 2017, Etienne Bax, the reigning world champion. So they're looking to rekindle some of that 2017 magic and put it to their advantage. So there we go then. There's a rundown of the classification. Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset sit on top by 2.1 seconds over Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens. Gert van Verve and Ben van den Boogaard up next. There's Corbin and De Bruyne in fourth ahead of Jan and Pavel Buchau. Fantastic qualifying for the number 26 pairing. Adrian Peter, Miroslav Zatlukau in sixth. Jake Brown, Joe Millard, they're knocking on the door. Less than 6 seconds off of the first position in the qualification. Fabian Hoffmann, Marius Strauss 8th. Heinzer and Betschart in 9th. Chanteloup and Villains in 10th. So that is the end of the Group A qualifying for the sidecar teams. And next up should be the B group. But in the meantime, there's the view of the paddock, and of course the Czech flag right there in the foreground. There's no doubting that there is a whole load of local heroes around here. And a lot of local support as well, because we do have a lot of Czech pairings. Of course, we've got Polushny and Rozhan, Ladislav Pek and Vyacheslav Pek, Martin Zislavsky, Jan Hanelik. They're all Czech pairings. Miroslav Zatlukau, of course, the Czech passenger to Adrian Peter, the German. Then Jan and Pavel Buchau, the Czech pairing as well. So it's about 22, 23 degrees Celsius here in Yinin in the south of the Czech Republic. And it's so good to have fans back trackside as we get ready to get the Group B qualification underway. Just before that, practice starts. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Look at Nicolas Mousset putting all the weight onto that driven wheel as they head up that very steep ascent into the first left-hander. Justin Kurban and Nicky De Bruyne is getting their start sorted as well. Of course, this will give them a chance to not only practice their starts, but also see where they will start from, whether it be the left-hand side, the middle, the right-hand side of the gates. We will have to wait and see. Gert van Verve and Ben van den Boogaard up there as well. There's Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukau just flying through the picture there. They come from the outside and give themselves more corner speed around the outside. The WSP AMS, you can hear booming in the background of number 3, Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens. Sven Visseling, Luke Rostang, that is an absolutely perfect picture to see how they prepare themselves for the practice starts. All the way towards the front for Sven Visseling. Luke Rostang with all of his weight onto the rear wheel to make that bike not only stable, but as fast as it can get off of the line. You need a good start here. It is absolutely vital to get a good start. Here we go, look. Let's watch Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how that is done. You can see how much dust is being kicked up in front of the camera position here as we watch number 14, Justin Kurban and Nicky De Bruyne practice their starts as well. Jake Brown, Joe Millard and outfit number 8. They had a bit of a slow start to 2019, but they got better and better with each and every round. I think they ended up 4th in GP14 at Rudelsburg for the finale in 2019, and that just goes to show that they are learning with every round that comes around. They've had some good form this year. I think they've done some racing back in England, and that's putting them in good stead for this weekend's World Championship round. 61, Ladislav Pek and Vyacheslav Pek, the Czech pairing. WSP KTM for that particular pairing. Justin Kurban, Nicky De Bruyne on 14. Looks like Justin Kurban's just making a few adjustments to the front end of that machine as we watch Sven Visseling and Luke Rostang on their WSP framed Zabel powered outfit make their way up towards that perilous turn 1. Gert van Verve and Ben van den Boogaard, that booming 4-stroke TM inside that WSP frame. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset gonna give it another go. It's very interesting to see they're practicing from all areas there. We see them from the left-hand side of the gate, the right-hand side of the gate, even going for the middle as well. And this is just to make sure that they know not only where to position themselves, but also how good the traction is there as well, of course. Let's not forget that with the steep ascent, they will need bag loads of traction. Kern Hermans and Glenn Jansen's practicing their start once again on outfit number 3. Kern Hermans has just been better and better and better as the rounds and the years have gone by. So it's definitely one to watch in the 2021 season. That just puts into perspective how much they have to work there. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset background to give it another shot. Nicolas Mousset just pointing out where he'd like to practice the starts. It's fascinating to see how they communicate between rider and passenger. Which of course, communication is absolutely key to not only going fast, but also smoothness as well. Look at rear wheel moving about, trying to find traction. Fabian Hoffmann and Marius Strauss practicing their start as well. Number 18, Marco Heinze and Meinrad Schelbert practicing theirs. Kern Hermans, Glenn Jansen's background to give it another shot. It's a very, very technically challenging circuit indeed. As mentioned earlier, they've got a very sharp ascent up towards the early parts of the circuit. And as you see there, just in the background on the right-hand side, the drop down from there into the right-hander, very, very difficult to get that right. Kern Hermans, Glenn Jansen's, WSP, AMS. Just look at the pace of these machines as they come over the rise into the left-hander. It is absolutely sublime. Pelushny and Rojan making their way around up towards turn 1 and 2. You don't realise how fast these guys are going until they're cruising around, and it just puts into perspective how hard they are working. Okay, so what a fantastic Group A qualifying session we have just had. We saw the number 82 pairing of Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset top that particular timing with a 2-minute 3.866. That is some 2.162 seconds quicker than second place pairing of Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, the Dutch pairing on outfit number 11, the surprise pairing for 2021. They were third with a 2-minute 7.287. So that was the top three in the earlier session, with Justin Koiben, Nicky de Bruyne in fourth, ahead of Jan and Pavel Bukau, the local pairing, in fifth. But enough about Group A and more about Group B, as they are in the waiting area here, ready to go out for their half-an-hour long qualifying session. Let's just take a look at rider and machine preparing for this session. That was Robbie Bax, who of course used to partner Arne Deerkins in 2019, but Arne isn't racing this weekend, and I don't think he'll be racing this year, but only time will tell. This is a starting list of how they will be in this session. Marvin van Lukener, Robbie Bax. Marvin van Lukener, of course, 2018 World Champion, 2019 Vice World Champion, hence the number 2. Kurt Varrick, Larry Kunas. Kurt Varrick, the multi-time Estonian champion, with Larry Kunas in the chair, the Finn. Davy Sanders, Johnny Adair making a comeback on outfit number 9 after some time away from the World Championship. Julian Veldren, Andres Schermack on 31. Daniel Willemsen, the 10-time world champion. He is partnered by Rodolphe Lebreton on outfit number 111. Eugene Kops and Paul Horton, the Dutch and the British pairing, on 98. Thomas van der Lagermaat, Rob Devine, Lucas Cherney, Bastien Chopin, Joachim Ryman and William Litweiler, Stephen Viges and Loic van der Putten round out your top 10. Former outfit is Jan Pavlika and Thomas Reuter, with Tim Leferink and Kostas Paleskas on number 75. Stacey and Alex van der Velde on 123. And the final pairing, number 50, Martin Kralicek and Martin Kralicek. The Czech pair in there. This is their home round, of course, so they were looking to impress in front of the local fans. So we've got Kurt Varrick there, just protecting themselves from the sun, which is beating down here in the south of Czech Republic now. There's Larry Kunas. He's using a helmet. Wise choice. So there's number 6 outfit, Larry Kunas, and Kurt Varrick, the driver there, as we have a bit of an aerial shot looking down. Just left-hand side, we can see final stretches there for the 1-2-3 outfit. And that, of course, is Stacey van der Velde and Alex van der Velde. They've got WSP framed Husqvarna. As we'll look at the 75 of Tim Leferink and Kostas Paleskas. They've got the VMC Husqvarna as well. So we've got 3 Husqvarna powered outfits, 2 of them inside the VMC frame, and 1 of them inside the WSP frame of Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas. Preparing for what will be the 30-minute qualifying session. Can anybody beat the time of Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset? A 2-minute 3 is the bar that has been set in the A session. What can we do in the Bs? In the earlier practice session for the Group B, it was Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax who finished top of the pile with a 2-minute 6.640. Of course, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset did a 2-minute 7 in their session. So if anything to go by is that Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax are ones to watch in this session. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas, what can they pull out from their sleeve in the following half hour to come? Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak on 31. They had a good practice session as well in third. Lucas Cherney, Bastien Chopin, Daniel Willemsen, Rodolphe Lebreton, 4th and 5th in the earlier session with Davy Sanders and Johnny Adair, the Belgian and the Frenchman, on number 9 in 6th place. Tim Leferink waiting patiently there on his machine. Number 75, one to watch. He's got Kostas Paleskas as his partner this year. Just look at the eyes, pure focus, pure determination, and pure commitment for what is about to come. Getting in the zone, which is vital in getting a good qualifying time in place. So the whistle is blown. They will make their way to their outfits and prepare for the qualifying B session. There is Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. How will they do this year? New pairing for this year for Van Lukenen and Bax. Number 2, the Vice World Champion of 2019 was Marvin Van Lukenen after winning in 2018. He'll be looking to reclaim that number 1 plate in 2021. Zabel bursting into life with a powerful kick from Marvin Van Lukenen. Get the goggles on, get in the zone. Thumbs up all round. Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax, they're ready and raring to go to get a wave from the WSC family down there. They're loving life, and so are we. There we go then, out onto the circuit for what will be a half-an-hour Group B qualifying session with Marvin Van Lukenen, Robbie Bax leading the pack. Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak, yet another new pairing for 2021, the Dutchman and the Czech. Now they have a Mega engine inside a CPD frame. So that's a new one here for Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak. CPD is Cornelius Personnel Dienst. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Cornelissen Personal Services is the translation. So a new frame coming into the play for Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, the Dutchman and the Czechman. Lucas Czerny, Bastian Chopin, the WSP Jawa. Lucas Czerny, local man as well on outfit number 25. He is one to watch. But number 50 coming into frame, Martin Kralacek and Martin Kralacek, the Czech pairing on their WSP Zabel. Even through the headphones, we can hear the crowd just going absolutely mad for these riders. Lots of local support, as I say earlier, for the Czechs. The Czechs do love their sidecar cross, and don't we all? So a slow sighting lap for the number 43 of Joachim Reimann and William Latweiler. The German and the Swiss, they're on their VMC framed Zabel, just making their way around the circuit, seeing what the conditions are like before giving it the big one and going for a fast time. Jan Polivka, Thomas Rota, the Czech pairing as well on outfit number 15. We can just see to the right-hand side. Martin Kralacek just coming into view as well. That is just how much elevation there is around this part of the circuit. So much so that they go out of sight between the jumps. It is absolutely incredible. Look at that view. Woods in the background. This is why we love sidecar cross. The atmosphere and the family feel of the sport is what attracts us all, as well as the adrenaline side as well. Just a quick warm-up lap. Well, I say a quick warm-up lap, just a slow casual lap it would seem from all of these guys. You really have got to ask yourself, what can Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax do on outfit number 2? Seeing that they're one of the favourites coming into this year. Of course, Marvin Van Lukenen, the vice champion in 2019, and Robbie Bax doing so well with Arne Dierkens in 2019 as well, when they were partnering each other. I can hear them approaching the finish gate and making their way onto what will be the first of the flying laps, I guess you could say. Joachim Reimann, William Latweiler is who we're looking at there on outfit number 43. There we go, a handful of throttle as they come over the finish jump before powering up the ascent into the blind left-hander. And it certainly looks like the pace is really picking up already. There's the number 99 of Thomas van der Lagma and Rob Devine. They were 8th in the earlier practice session. for the Dutch and Belgian with a 2 minute 14.203. So it was a quick pace being set in the earlier session. We saw Etienne Bax go 4 seconds quicker than his practice time, from a 2 minute 7 to a 2 minute 3. So if Marvin van Leeuwen can do the same, we're looking at 2:02s. But we've got 25 minutes in hand, and only time will tell what will happen. 1-1-1. Daniel Willumsen, Rodolphe Lebreton. Daniel Willumsen, a 10-time world champion, going all the way back to the end of the 90s. Fantastic start for Daniel Willumsen and Rodolphe Lebreton. Got that a little bit wrong as Rodolphe Lebreton just makes his way through the front of the passenger side of the outfit. Daniel Willumsen, very experienced man, of course, with the Zabel inside his WSP frame. Here we go, into the left-hander, locking up the rear wheel, throwing it sideways, opposite lock from the handlebars before dropping down the jump and into that tricky right-hander. You can see a whole variety of different lines being made from not only the guys in the last session, but also this one as well, as they come around that fast right-hander, use a lot of speed, a lot of camber for powering the way up the other side, over the jump, and heading towards the trees. Such a fantastic venue here in Yinin. Martin Kralicek and Martin Kralicek, a Czech pairing on the Zabel in front of Daniel Willumsen and Rodolphe Lebreton. I can see dark goggles on Daniel Willumsen, but you don't need me to tell you what's going on behind their eyes. Just coming over the top now before the finish gate. And then he'll be going on to yet another flying lap. But it doesn't look as though we've got any live timing for this session here. To look at the number 31 of Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak. He finished third in the earlier session, the practice session that is, sorry, at 2 minutes 7.688. It's absolutely phenomenal to see these machines being chucked around the circuit like this from these world-class athletes. Of course, they are athletes. So much energy and strength goes into muscling one of these machines around circuits, and especially one with as much elevation and jumps in as this. So technically challenging. You can hear the air horns in the background from the fans from all over. It's so good to have the fans back here trackside. And it's so good to be here as well with the World Championship coming up to you live from the South Czech Republic here in Yinin. See the crowd in the background now as Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak just launch into frame. Dropping down into the right-hander now. Andre Chermak was telling me yesterday how difficult it is to get that right, and Marvin van Leeuwen and Etienne Bax have both got that wrong in the past, where Andre Chermak can capitalise. But it sounds as though we've got somebody down in the pits already there with Jeva. Who we got there?
So I'm here with Marvin Leeuwen. Marvin, why did you stop so early? 1-2 laps and you're in the pit lane already.
The track is a little bit wet for a good time, I think so. So we will wait a little bit when it's drier, the track. So I think it will be better then.
And what do you think about this format, that you don't have a qualifying race, but you have to do the best lap time to get a gate pick?
Yeah, it's just one thing. It's for everyone the same. So we have no choice, and we make the best of it.
All right, good luck for today.
Thank you.
Bradley?
Thank you very much, Jeva. So Marvin van Leeuwen, I think the track's a little bit too wet to put in a good lap time at the moment. We just heard him say there to Marvin, who recently had a baby boy, Bentley. It's now a father, is Marvin van Leeuwen, with Robbie Bax in the chair as well. Of course, Bax is a new passenger for 2021. Not quite sure if Robbie has raced here before, but I do know that Marvin's raced here previously with Ben van den Bogart, who he won the championship with in 2018 and became vice champion in 2019 with. But that is times gone by. It's all about 2021. Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax will be looking to change that number 2 plate into a 1 plate come season's end. As we look at Tim Leferink and Kostas Baleskas just making their way around the early part of the circuit. On outfit number 75. Quick turn from Tim Leferink there. Kostas Baleskas all over the rear wheel of that machine. Look at him hanging off the right-hand side of the outfit for Kostas Baleskas, the Lithuanian, coming over that big jump before heading into the right-hander. It's interesting to think that Etienne Bach said that the track was pretty much perfect for the race, and that Marvin Lucan is of the opinion that it's still a little bit too wet at the moment. But these are the fastest guys in the world on these sidecar motocross machines. So they know what is best for themselves and what is best to give themselves a good lap time. 20 minutes to go then, already a third of the way through the session as we watch Tim Leferink and Kostas Baleskas give us a face full of dirt before powering up that big jump there. Before we head into the left-hander, Kostas Baleskas, look at him sitting on the rear end of that machine over the driven wheel, clinging on to the Tim Leferink. You have no idea how strong these passengers and riders really are. It really is fantastic to watch. So coming into this part of the circuit for Tim Leferink and Kostas Baleskas. Bit of a difficult part there, flicking it left before you have to flick it right so quickly before coming over the final jump there. Here we go then. Handful of throttle, making the way up the sharp ascent into the left-hander, blind crest. Bit of power on the brakes into the left-hander. Looks like they may have pulled out of this one. Kostas Baleskas isn't quite clinging on as what he was before. He's just holding on this time around, ladies and gentlemen. Can't get over how sharp that drop is there. It is so crazy. Looks like Kostas Baleskas just pointing out parts of the circuit that maybe Tim Leferink needs to try. Maybe make Kostas feel a little bit comfier on the bike, let's say. A little bit more confidence. But at the moment, Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak lead the way with a 2-minute 7.221. It's only 4 tenths quicker than their practice time, with Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas in second, Lucas Cherney, Bastien Chopin third, Davy Sanders, Johnny Badair fourth, Leferink, Baleskas fifth, Polivka, Rotter in sixth, Viges and Van der Putten in seventh, Willemsen and Lebreton in eighth, Van der Velde pairing in ninth, ahead of Van der Lagema and Devine in 10th. Still yet to see a time from Marvin Van Luken and Robbie Bax. Number 2 pairing will be out there in due course. 18 minutes to go then as we watch number 6 of Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas, the Estonian and the Finnish pairing. Looks as though they're on a fast lap as well. Lots of support for the Czech riders, and I say, Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas, who was second in the earlier practice session with a 2-minute 7.456. More time to be gained potentially for Kurt and Larry. Jan Polivka and Thomas Rotter, the Czech pairing, having a good ride so far at roughly the halfway stage of this qualifying session. But down the dip, out of sight before bursting back into view for Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. Looks like they're on a fast one yet again. Lots of action all around this circuit. It sounds as though, as we watch those go in front of the pits, we've already got another rider down in the pits with Yeva.
I'm here with local superstar Lucas Chern. Lucas, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, we are feeling much better like the weeks before, because we had some nice trainings. And so yeah, now the feeling is much better, and we are looking for the great results. I hope the luck will be, we will have some luck today and also tomorrow, so we'll see.
Do you feel any extra pressure, this being your home GP?
No, it's like same race for us every time. Our team will do the best every time, but a little bit more stress, but I think the spectators are here, so they push us to forward.
Also, many spectators here being by the track. Can you hear them when you're driving?
Yeah, sure. And I can see them. I thanks to them so much.
All right, have a good lap today, and I'll see you later. Back to you, Bradley.
Thank you very much, Ava. So that was local superstar, as you quite rightly said there, Ava, Lucas Cherney. Feeling very confident coming into this weekend, but there's Marvin van Lukenen and new passenger Robbie Bax for the 2021 season. Looks like they're on a fast lap already. Robbie Bax almost scraping the ground with his helmet, is pushing on that hard. Out of sight before coming back into view once again. Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. Look at that, throwing the outfit sideways and getting the drive out. Robbie Bax just making his way to the right-hand side over the jump. So technical for not only the drivers but the passengers as well. Look at him over this big tabletop here. Mid-air, Robbie Bax is changing position and getting himself ready for this 180-degree fast right-hander. All the way over the rear wheel now as they go up over the top into the left-hander. Robbie Bax clings on to Marvin van Lukenen into the left-hander. More weight into the left-hand side of the outfit before powering down this part of the circuit over the big jump once again. Just listen to that Zabel screaming as they come down into this tight left-hander over the jump once again. Robbie Bax with his foot through the sidecar wheel as opposed to around, which is some of the passengers' preference. This is looking like a real fast one from Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. It sounds as though they have had a good lap time there. We'll get the live time in hopefully just a moment, but in the meantime, Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax looking back to see what's going on. Thumbs up from Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax in agreement as well. Bit of communication once again between van Lukenen and Bax as they come over that jump for the steep drop down into the right-hander. And seeing them through the trees from commentary position here. But back to the screen. Looks like they're just going to take a slow cruising lap here. 98, Egan Kops and Paul Hall, the Dutch and the British pairing on their WSP Zabel. Number 98 were 9th in the earlier practice session. They'll be looking to go a couple places better in this one. Hopefully Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax don't get into their part of the circuit. So it looks like they may be on a fast lap time here for Kops and Horton. Van Lukenen and Bax, they know what they're doing. They're out of the way. Kops and Horton powering through over the jump and back towards the camera vantage point here. See the rut starting to form where they give it the full beans from their machine. And obviously the rear wheel spins up and creates a bit of a rut. Paul Horton one-handed around the left-hander. Not coming into the pits this time around for the number 98 pairing of Kops and Horton. They're going over the big tabletop before going through the 180-degree right-hander. Look how much speed they carry. Bit of a different line for Kops and Horton than some of the other outfits, but whatever works for them. Look at the dust being kicked up as well. So Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax, this is the conditions that they were hoping for. Said it's a little bit too damp earlier in the session, but they're out there now with less than 13 minutes to go now. And sitting on top of the timing pile as we watch Kops and Horton around this part of the circuit. So much work goes into getting this machine manhandled around this Yinin circuit. Looks like Davy Sanders and Johnny Bidder just in front on outfit number 9, the Belgian and the French pairing. They also are on the Zabel-powered WSP frame. And they are in the bottom of the picture over the crest, but all eyes towards Kops and Horton still as they go through turn 1. Bit of throttle, lots of dust being kicked up now and into turn 2. Paul Horton hanging off the left-hand side of the machine. You see the rear wheel locking up there just to get that machine turned for coming over the jump. Through the right, dropping down into that right-hander for turn 4. David Sanders, Johnny Bidder leaping into our faces there as we watch Kops and Horton around the left-hander as well. Looks like that Sanders and Bidder maybe on a fast one as well. Egan Kops and Paul Horton using them as a bit of a carrot on a stick. Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax, a 2-minute 4.414. What a fantastic lap time that we saw from that pairing. Julian Veldman and Andres Chermak now down to second, but still good. 2.8 seconds adrift from van Lukenen and Bax. Farrick and Kunas ahead of Sanders and Bidder. Willemsen now in 5. Cherney, Leffering, Van der Lagermatt, Kops and Polivka. And we go back down to pit lane to see who Yeva has got for us.
Willemsen here. Daniel, you did something to your bike. What is happening?
Well, they wanted the track before, and now we're trying to find more grip. So we are now have a quickly set up, different setup for the track what is getting more dry. So we are looking for grip, and we had before, we had a third time. We went down to 5, so we have to improve again. So now we're gonna push again.
And your thoughts on the track today in general? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's good to be back in Jinin. It's minimum a decade ago, so for me it's good to be back here in Jinin. It's a long time, and well, happy to see all the spectators again. And WSC is doing a good job. Very nice promotion. I think for the spectators it's excellent. Live TV, broadcasting, and so we are going to enjoy a good weekend.
Thank you and good luck with your times today. Back to you, Bradley.
Thank you very much indeed, Eva. So Daniel Willemsen, if you want a man who has more experience than Daniel Willemsen, you'll be looking for a very, very long time, because I don't think there is one. Daniel Willemsen, 10-time world champion, making some adjustments to his machine there, because we get a wide shot of the outfits just making their way around their respective parts of the circuit. Around the fast right-hander, lots of dirt and dust being kicked up into our faces from the 418 machine of Steven Viges and Loa van der Putten, the Dutch pairing on their WSP Zabel. So we've got 3 different frame manufacturers in this particular session, with WSP CPD, as we mentioned, for Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak. That's doing them some good there in second place at the moment. We've got WSP, VMC and CPD. A few different engine manufacturers as well. We've got Zabel, Husqvarna, Mega, Jawa in the mix as well. There we go. You can see the final jump there for that particular outfit. Daniel Willemsen just coming out of the pits. Rodolphe Lebreton for the passenger as well. We watched them head towards the tabletop jump. Looks as though that is the 31 of Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak just making the way around. It looks as though they're on a fast lap as well. They're certainly giving it the big one over the top of the jump. Just look at the height that these outfits are getting. Let's not forget that this is carrying the weight of 2 men, and they're getting 10, 15, maybe 20 foot of air. It's absolutely insane. Julian Veltman, Andre Chermak, the Dutch and Czech pairing. Andre Chermak, a bit of a Czech hero here. He was telling me the other day that he really enjoys this circuit. It's so technical, it's so challenging, but let me tell you, if you get it right, there's not much else more satisfying. Big handful of revs over the final jump before starting yet another lap for Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak. It looks as though they may have pulled out of this one already as they slowly head up towards turn 1. That blind left-hander, but we can see the starting gate there. That is where 29 outfits are going to line up for the races this weekend. As we wait for the next outfit to come into frame. Still Marvin van Luken and Robbie Bax on top with their earlier lap time as we go around 7.5 minutes remaining. There's Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton, the Dutch and the French pairing. I should say Daniel Willemsen, multi-world champion from the 90s and also through the noughties as well. Very, very experienced man is Daniel Willemsen, number 111. Winning world titles with a whole host of passengers throughout the years, throughout the decades, I suppose you could say now. But here he is in 2021, spotted fit as ever. Just taking a slow lap around the circuit. Rodolphe Lebreton and Daniel Willemsen perhaps communicating there, giving each other advice on what they can do over the tabletop into that very tight left-hander where we've seen the majority of the machines locking up the rear wheel just to get the back end round before giving it full throttle. So Van Lukener, Veltman, Varick, Sanders, Willemsen. There we go, that is the top 5 at the moment, and I do have to apologise for the graphics earlier. It sounded though we had a bit of a problem with that particular graphic, so no live timing in the earlier session, but we've got it now. We have it now. Willemsen in 5th, Cherney 6th, Lefferink 7th, Van der Lagemaa in 8th, ahead of Egan Kops and Paul Horton on outfit number 98 in 9th. Rounding out your top 10 is 418, Viges and Van der Putten. Oh, it looks as though we've got someone down there. looks though maybe a bit of an injury. They can't quite see a number from this distance. Could be Van der Lageman, Devine. It looks as though that is who it is. The number 99 there, yeah, Thomas Van der Lageman and Rob Devine, the Dutch and the Belgian pairing, have gone down. It looks like they've gone down quite heavily as well. Back to Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak on number 31. Thomas Van der Lageman, Rob Devine still out there on circuit. Hopefully they're all okay for number 99. Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak just making their way around that part of the circuit. This part that they're coming into now just looks very, very technical. Into the right-hander, over the top, into the left-hander, then into a right-hander. Lots of work for not only Julian Veldman, but Andres Chermak as well. But it's very, very satisfying when you get it right. Listen to that two-stroke just being revved to within its limits. Over the top there, you can see Veldman just telling Chermak where he's going to go, and this will of course bode well for them. And they've put in a better lap time as well. Yellow flag section then, and this must be where Van der Lageman and Devine have unfortunately gone down, as the number 25 outfit comes into the pits. Lucas Cherney and Bastien Chopin. And number 50 in the pits as well. That is Martin Kralacek and Martin Kralacek. David Sanders, Johnny Badair in the pits, it would seem. It looks like it's just 3 outfits in the pits as we watch Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak. So no fastest times will be set on this lap, of course, due to the yellow flags out on circuit. I can't quite see from a vantage point here in the commentary box whether they are up or not, but we'll give you information as soon as we get it. Of course, to Van der Lageman and Rob Devine, who are currently, they've had a good session so far. Philipson and Lebreton in 6th, as you can see, 4.2 seconds adrift from Van Luken and Bax with an absolutely fantastic time of a 2-minute 4.414. There's Van der Lageman and Devine in 8th. Kops and Horton still 9th ahead of Viges and Van der Putten on 4.18, around an 8 top 10 ahead of Polivka and Rota. The Czech pairing on outfit number 15. Lots of local support then for Polivka and Rota, and not only them, but also Martin Kralacek and Martin Kralacek. The Van der Vaart pairing on 1, 2, 3. The Dutch pairing are there in 14th, and out of the 14 runners, that is how it stands at the moment, with just over 3 minutes to go then. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak making a debut for a CPD frame, less than a second away from Marvin van Lukener, who of course is not only the vice champion of 2019, but world champion of 2018. So they're having a fantastic weekend so far for Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak. As we go around the far part of the circuit, no fastest laps will be set this time. There's Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax. Go through that section. It looks like there may have been up and walking away for Van der Lageman and Devine. So hopefully they're all okay, getting checked out. Van Lukener and Bax still top the timing pile with a 2-minute 4.414. Not quite as fast as what Etienne Bax did in the A session with a 2-minute 3. But either way, still a fabulous time from the number 2 outfit of Van Lukener and Bax. Looks though they're building up to potentially go into a faster lap next time around, as they come bursting into view once again. So much height, so much speed for Van Lukener and Bax. Around the left-hander, you can see how hard Robbie Bax has to work all of the rear end of that machine, into the left-hander, round into the right-hander next to the pit area. So Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak currently in 2nd at the moment. There were doubts that Andre would actually race again after his crash in 2018, and that was a big one indeed. It was his ankle that he had the most issues with, but I was speaking to him yesterday and he says that he's not feeling 100%. I asked if he's feeling percent and he goes, no, it's maybe around 90% that he's feeling. So 0.8 of a second away from Van Lukener and Bax when you're only feeling 9/10 of fitness. It's not too bad at all for Andre Chermak. And of course around this circuit as well, which is so physically demanding, is no mean feat. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak had a lot of training on the sand tracks in early 2020 to get race fit. Well, of course, we all know what happened there. The COVID-19 pandemic hit, and the 2020 season was unfortunately canned. But we're back strong here in 2021 for round 1 here in Yinin, 100 kilometers south of Prague in the Czech Republic. There is Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. This will be their final lap. Less than a minute to go now, and they're still in the early part of the circuit. Handful of power dropping down into the right-hander and over the jump as well into the left in just a moment's time. Robbie Bax throws himself onto the left-hand side of the machine. They're certainly on a flying lap here. Over the jump, this is so fascinating to watch, just how the driver and the passenger work together in synchronized harmony to get the best out of the machine and also make the most of the track conditions. Marvin Van Lukenen was saying earlier, with about 25 minutes to go, we saw him in the pits and he said, nah, it's still a bit too damp to set a fast lap time. So if he wants to better his 2:04, he has to do it now. The track conditions will not be better in this session as the clock ticks to 0. There's the number 15 of Jan Polivka and Thomas Rotter. Local pairing getting a lot of support here this weekend. Or losing a little bit of time for Van Lukenen and Bax. They were looking to make that up around the last half of the circuit. In front of the pit area, they go through the right-hander. Very difficult tabletop jump to contend with. Robbie Bax moving his way to the right-hand side in preparation for the 180-degree right-hander here. Lots of pace and lots of throttle on the way up over that big jump near the trees before into the left-hander. Robbie Bax is absolutely fantastic to watch. Clambering all over the rear end of the number 2 outfit. They just got the better of number 15 there of Polivka and Rotter. So they're having a good weekend for Van Lukenen and Bax. All eyes on them now to see if they can better that 2:04.414 that they set earlier in the session. You can see the dust being kicked up now. A bit of a nosedive there from Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. He's on a fast lap into the last part of the circuit now. One more jump to go before coming over the final jump to end the session for Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. A 2:04.162, so they did go faster in the end on that lap. Van Lukenen and Bax a 2:04.162 ahead of the 31 of Veldman and Andres Chermak. Then it's Vincent Lebreton ahead of Varek and Kunas, Sanders, Bader, Cherney and Chopin in 6th, Lefferink and Baleskas in 7th on outfit number 75, Thomas van der Lagemat and Rob Devine in 8th. Fingers crossed that they're all okay. It looked as though they were walking away, which is always a good sign. Kops and Horton round out the top 9 with Viges and Van der Putten just behind in 10th. Polivka and Rotter, Raymond and Lutwiler, Kralicek and Kralicek, Van der Veld and Van der Veld, 12th, 13th and 14th. So that is the conclusion for the Sidecars Group B, and there is confirmation that Van Lukenen and Bax are on top of the pile with a 2:04.162. Didn't quite manage to break the 2:04 barrier and drop into the 2:03s, but of course that was, put them in good stead for the gate pick for the first race. Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak with the CPD Mega outfit ahead of Varek and Kunas. Willemsen, the 10-time world champion, there in 4th, knocking on the door by 1/1000th of a second behind Varek and Kunas. That is how close it is inside this championship. Cherney and Chopin in 5th, Sanders Bader 6th, Lefferink, Van der Lagemat, Kops and Viges 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So that is the top 4. 11th through to 14th is Polivka and Rotter, Ryman and Lutwiler, Kralicek and Kralicek with Van der Veld and Van der Veld, Stacey driving and Alex doing the work on the chair. They round out the 14 runners and riders at the conclusion of the Group B qualifying session. So here we go then. 3rd place in the Group B qualification is Kurt Varek and Larry Kunas. The Estonian and the Finnish pairing having a fantastic season so far. Of course, Estonian champion this year for Kurt Varek. They are 3rd. 2nd place, Julian Veldman, Andre Chermak on outfit number 31. The new CPD Mega doing a fantastic job here in Yinin. There will certainly be a dark horse to watch in the races to come. Andre Cermak looking at him, hanging off the left-hand side of the chair, reaching around and grabbing Julian Veldman, clinging on around that left-hander. But Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax setting their fastest lap of the qualification session on that final lap that we saw there with a 2-minute 4.0. So van Leeuwen and Bax, the fastest of the 14 riders in that half-an-hour long session. And that will give them a good choice for the gate picks for the first of the races as we watch the practice starts. Compare this to an hour ago before the Group A's got away. There's hardly any dust, but look at it now. Dusty as anything. There we can see Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax, the fastest of the qualifiers, just practicing their start on the run up towards the first turn. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas kicking it into gear. Kurt Varrick forward. And away they go. Drop the clutch and power it up towards that first turn. Steep, steep rise before you get to the first turn as well. Surprisingly, the camera makes it look flatter than what it is in person. Just goes to show how steep and how many elevation changes there are at this Yinin circuit. Tim Leffering, Kostas Baleskas there. Just have a look at the front end of the machine there. As Julian Veldman, Andre Cermak come into view. There's Polivka and Rotter as well, the local pairing on their WSP Zabel. Stacey and Alex van der Velde practice their start and come up towards us now. Polivka and Rotter practicing their start ahead of Leffering and Baleskas. That is the number 25 of Cherney and Bastien Chopin. So Lucas Cherney, local man, lots of support and feeling very confident coming into this weekend. It is Lucas Cherney. Bastien Chopin, the Frenchman, getting all the way over the rear wheel, get as much drive as you possibly can, because it's vital around this circuit to get the drive up towards that first turn. It's going to be a very close battle in the first race, and all of the races, in fact, between Van Leeuwen and Etienne Bax, it would seem. Of course, Etienne's brother, Robbie Bax, partnering Marvin van Leeuwen, that we can see there. And although this is their first World Championship race together, they're looking like a dark horse this weekend. They want to change that number 2 back to a number 1 as what it was in 2019 when they were the reigning champions. Ended up being vice world champion in 2019, hence the reason for the number 2 there. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas with their 4-stroke Husqvarna inside that WSP frame, dropping the clutch and making their way up towards that first turn. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen at home, but I, for one, cannot wait to get the racing underway this weekend. It's going to be so, so good to finally see World Championship action back after such a long, long wait. 705 days it has been. Where has the time gone? We did have a full season planned last year, of course, but it was slowly being whittled away by the ever-increasing issues with coronavirus and the restrictions being put in place by the various governments around Europe. And in the end, it just had to be scrapped. That was the last resort, and unfortunately, that is the way it had to be. 2021 was looking promising, and we've got 4 rounds lined up through August and September, of course, the Nations in October as well. So fingers crossed that all of them go ahead as planned. But in the meantime, Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax will be looking to do battle out on circuit against the likes of Daniel Willemsen, Etienne Bax, and Kurt Varrick, Julian Veldman as well. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas just kicking up a load of dirt into the camera lens there. Don't envy the people who have to clean the cameras down after this, because that is one tough old job. Looks like we're going to have the Kralicic pair in, setting off as well with Leffering and Baleskas just to the left-hand side of your screen there. Looks like Van Leeuwen and Bax are going to give it one more go for their practice start. Looks like Robbie Bax just looking down the front of the sidecar part of the outfit. It looks as though that will be the conclusion of the World Championship Sidecarcross Group B qualification. as Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax give it one more go and practice their starts and the entrance into the second turn as well. Looking up the rear wheel, using a bit of the camber on the dirt on the outside to carry as much space as he possibly can.